Welcome everyone to our Thursday meditation. Just letting the sound wash through your cranium. It enters the watery pathways of the body and goes vertical at 5,000 feet per second, evidently. Magic of sound. Evidently, sound controls 50% of the interactions in the body, meaning this is how the cells are communicating. At least that's one way that the cells are communicating. So, nice deep breath, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Sunny day in California, yay. We are happily married as of several days now. So we just want to celebrate that great feeling, beam it out through the heart. Evidently, it's love that allows the DNA to respond and grow and expand. Right? So scientists seem to have discovered that the DNA actually is light on some level. It's a matrix for the light. It's a holographic projection unit. And nearby are these little magical molecule assemblies called histones, which are, you could say, is part of the epigenetic assembly, meaning the DNA has a boss, right? So these little guys are sort of positioned to determine what is that DNA going to do? Because the DNA in your toes is maybe the same as your wrist, but these instruction kits are saying, well, you might want to try something different, just because it's different space, different place. So let's start out, we call it an epigenetic meditative awareness moment here. So what does that mean? We're aware that our instruction kit, our DNA, is being informed by an even more subtle system. And so we're just going to listen in. All right, that these histones, these encoded molecules have the capacity to remember things. All right, and you can't fool these guys. They know all your greatest secrets. So we're just tuning into the intelligence that, in a sense, surrounds the DNA, that wraps the DNA. Evidently, there's an 80 light-year nebula in the center of the Milky Way galaxy that has a helical DNA structure. Right, so this double helix is a universal code, essentially, matrix. And the other really interesting piece of information is that your connective tissue, you could say the largest organ in the body, is all connected through liquid crystal, sort of collagenous molecules, which means that this interconnected system is going to allow transmissions of your meridians, which have a more subtle resistance charge than your skin. So your skin is protecting you from all sorts of things, and the connective tissue, which is probably fairly dense for a lot of folks in different places where we have unresolved emotional stuff, sort of thickened and still working itself out in the body, that connective tissue does not channel the meridian light flows as well as, say, when you're clear, when your emotions are in balance and you've resolved your stuff and are not traumatized still by the past. So let's breathe into this thought here of the liquid crystal matrix of the connective tissue acting as an informing, connective, like subway system in the body. Just acknowledging its presence. And so when sound travels through the body, it hits these little patches that might be a little dense, which is why a song could make you cry or bring all kinds of emotions out that are embedded in the collagenous tissue. So let's breathe. Just feel the sort of stretch factor of the body. This collagenous material has elastin, right? The fascia tissue is all connected, right? When you massage it, it's good. So just feeling this supreme flexibility of the elastin. And with our mind, right, because the thoughts actually can affect the DNA. The thoughts can penetrate in and throw switches. So the good feelings attract the healings. These are good thoughts that bring coherency. So we're just going to drop in. Hello everyone, I'm just reading what you're saying. Glad you're enjoying. Namaste everyone. So we're breathing. We're doing our normal routine, which is to drop deeper as we contemplate wondrous things. Drop into the feeling tone of the body, releasing stress, bringing in the oxygen, expanding. Beautiful, loving thoughts expand. Integrating. Coherency is wondrous communication in the body. And that's basically what's going on. There are quantum fields of cosmic import. There's electromagnetic fields. There's biochemical fields happening. And then T fields, thought fields, are affecting those. So what you're thinking is kind of holding in place a variety of fields that are kind of negotiating in your body for space, trying to exert their influences. So what is yoga from this point of view? It's sort of getting a grip on all of these different fields, right? We need the physical yoga, right? The pratyahara, bringing in the senses, the posture, the pranayama, right? All these wondrous yogic acts ultimately take us to samadhi, which is the stilling of the mind, the dhyana, named after my lovely wife. The word for meditation in Sanskrit is dhyana. And so dhyan takes us into this contemplative, lit up place where we drop into that samadhi of the highest chakra. When I say highest, there are more overtones above the Sahasrara. We could say chakra 8 and 9. What are these things? Let's contemplate first chakra 7. It's like this launch pad of light where the first 6 chakras have kind of organized themselves on their journey, all filled with light, filled with prana. And when that occurs, you could say we get all 3 of the kundalinis, right? There's a serpent kundalini that rises up from the base, and then there's this sort of Brahma kundalini that drops in from the top. So like helicopter rescue. Shakti pat means to fly. The flying down of the Shakti coming in. It's a different level of kundalini. And then the 3rd level of kundalini is essentially the radiance that's just literally pouring out of all the molecules, the prana shakti ma of creation in every particle, just radiating out of us. So let's breathe into all 3 of these kundalinis. There's this udana prana that's rising up, bringing the intelligence up through this chakra matrix of assembled transformations. As we rise up through the chakras, 2nd to the 3rd to the 4th, 5th, 6th, and then into the voltage of the supreme light that's hovering. It's sort of like a starship of infinite potential. You can just sort of pull yourself right up into the light that's hovering. Those tremendous electromagnetic light fields surround us that link into the biophotons of all the organs and glands, the glial cells, this liquid matrix of connective tissue, the right side vagus nerve, which channels the Kundalini from the base up into the right brain, up to the top. So just becoming aware of all of these dynamics that are occurring simultaneously as we speak in our bodies. Let's just get still and just feel all of these pathways. Here we go. As you tune into the sound of the bell, you'll start to hear the overtones. You don't always notice them at first. Mostly might be attracted to the clangiest of the sounds. That's the most obvious. You can hear the sort of shimmering resonance of these overtones. Could say these same overtones in the light body create, you could say, is it even a chakra there? Who knows? But it's considered 8 and 9, essentially kind of a link to the Akashic records that have evidently all the secrets of our past lives, all contained in this record-keeping subtle energy matrix. And then above that, Chakra 9. When I think Chakra 9, I think Chakra 9 to the galaxy. It's kind of like it's like a radio station that talks to supernatural beings, star intelligence. It's kind of hovers up here. Our conscious brain might not be so aware of it. But you could say these signals are coming through and vibrating in Chakra 9. I find in my healing work that this is you could say the remnants of a hunter satellite dish from our hunter-gathering days, meaning we have this ability to sense the presence of whatever we need to sense at great distances or very subtle level perception. So the better hunter you might be, the better satellite dish you might have. And if that's not the case, if you're more of a home-dwelling gatherer or nurturer, you might need to switch the satellite dish on because you're just not using it, right? You're maybe, whether you're male, female, using other skills for other things. But then this sort of deep hunter satellite dish we open. It's sort of like Facebook friends with the star visitors. Just sort of go up and click on the ship, right? Hey, I'm here. Can I be your friend? Click. Okay. Bloop. Okay, now you're on their star registry. And then these chakras are happy. Right? Because the light is just loves higher consciousness. It is higher consciousness. So let's just notice it's like the higher consciousness just hovering. The second order Kundalini that's coming from above. there's a rotating toroidal field that swirls around us. Your bones are an endocrine gland. They channel sound, actually create very subtle hormones that affect insulin even. We're just tuning into the intelligence of the body. And we breathe. Allowing the sound waves harmonize communication in the body. Bringing in peace, integration, biophotonic communication, deep meditation, cellular activation, biophotonic restoration. Near ultraviolet waves heal. Far ones can damage. So certain frequencies of light are sublime and divine. for the physical body. So we'll just do a little review of the different chakras to bring us back up to a nice container of energy. So chakra 1 at the base, the perineum. Vibration of Lam. 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 Let's feel this root chakra connecting to the earth. There's a chakra in the feet, sometimes referred to as chakra 10, that links back to the first, connecting our feet to the earth, to nature, to the planet. And then 11, I could say this power in the hands to work with energies. 12 is kind of a overall light field that coordinates everything. This is according to the 12 chakra theory. And then some suggest there's the field of 32. There's other subtle in-between chakras that work like the histones, in the sense of work as these little semiconductors, kind of computer chips in the body, that coordinate the electromagnetic fields with the chemicals of the body, the mineral systems, the collagen fields, colloidal fields, electrical, all kinds of fields, all working together. So sitting still is probably the best possible integrative tool. Allows all these fields to find themselves, gather themselves into coherency. And we know this from just sitting still, how we feel better, fast. Our brains clarify. The mud in the pond settles to the bottom. Just sitting in the stillness. Breathing through the nose. At a certain point, it becomes more obvious that we're not the body. We're not the mind. So we're incubating a certain state. It's the state that creates the external experience ultimately. If you're in a dream state, kind of dreamy. Deep sleep state, you're gone. If you're in an angry state, everything's bad. If you're in a bliss state, what isn't great? So it's all about the state. So this highest chakra, we're just going to go right from the root to the top, right in this moment. Just go right up to the light. Highest state of samadhi, of stillness. Radiant light. Just take the bath, basking in the glow, the radiant light. That's Kundalini Ma. When we're dense, she can't get through. Sound waves have a hard time getting through us when we're dense. We're all stuck up with the past, unfinished business. Unfinished psychological experiences that get triggered if the energy hits them, brings up the disturbance. So we want to just keep the energy moving through, clearing out any disturbances, any past unfinished business. So we're up to date. Beautiful resonant system. Vibrating with light. The environment also programs us. All these external toggle switches affecting these histones, the epigenome, intelligence of the holographic DNA. So I like to say, as my teachers of old have said, meditation is the great medication. It's the great compassionate act on the body-mind to allow us to liberate ourselves from the interference patterns. So we can be aware that we're really, you could say, in heaven, in the supreme I amness. Maybe still having a funky dream, perhaps, but we need to resolve that. So that whatever state we incubate, cultivate, that has a natural expression. So if you're in a great state, what does that mean? We just feel it. The coherency of the light doing it for you. In a sense, our job is allowing, right? To allow this to dance, to just listen in and feel it. It's vibrating in the subtle continuum of love and expansion. So rebirthing into the second chakra, into the watery ocean of the self, subconscious and conscious beingness, spiritual evolution moving up, projecting out through the third chakra, and from the Vang to the Rang, up into the heart to the Yang, into the throat. And then up from there. If you look on the scroll for the Vishuddha chakra meditation from I guess it was a week ago, Jen posted a beautiful experience of watching that and having some kind of thing in her throat. It was all gummed up, this blockage, this lump. And during that meditation, Vishuddha chakra meditation, it just resolved. So if you're having throat issues, check out that meditation. It's already having a healing effect on folks watching it after the fact. How is this possible? I guess whatever we intend is programmed into our actions. So, and we all bless each other in this regard, right? So this beautiful intention for healing, just move that in with the frequency, aligning with the greater visual, bringing it to reality. Nice deep breath. Just allowing the natural Kundalini movement in your body to heal you. It's like she's already there working. I didn't notice. Very subtle. This liquid crystal matrix of the body, of the heart. Some radio signals all moving throughout, biophotonic resonance. Just feeling the peace that comes with that. Breathing through the nose. Again, noticing this, it's like the light assembly above the head. It's there if you tune into it. Like the Shakti from above. The down descending Kundalini. It's like the collective energy of the culture is full of Kundalini. She knows when you're ready. It's like she flies in by magic copter and down into this overtones above the head to sort of meet with the rising Kundalini, energized by this inside out radiant Kundalini. Some refer to this as evolutionary versus involutionary. The universe evolves. Here we are with our bodies. And then the Kundalini involves, involutes. It's doing another universal expansion, expression, opening within ourselves. Sort of the micro-universe. Just feeling the evolution of this energy in you at this time, wherever you might be at. Sometimes it's like a tickle in the heart when you're meditating. This warm moves through your body. It's like, oh, mysterious warmth. If there's blockages and stuckness, it can be a little jagged as it kind of punches through these stucknesses. But if you're a smooth running, purring Kundalini machine, you might not notice it so much, except that you'll be just glowing, but you might not feel the friction anywhere because there might not be. You are Kundalini. You are radiating out completely and magically and wondrously. It's not so easy to notice these things. We're too used to the physical kind of grab. So we're just going to notice. Just noticing subtle energy levels. all these colors that fill us up. If the universe blew up, it would be an explosion of color, evidently. Kind of already is. Just feeling the electromagnetic, biophotonic, electronic nature of your being, all these fields vibrating. That is a meditation unto itself. You just notice you're made of fields. Fields within fields. Code within code within code. Basically, infinite energy is available in the 0 point spaces between everythingness. And so for a beautifully resonant, harmonious meditating system, we can draw energy from the 0 point. And that is a kind of creation yoga at that point. You're literally, you could say, surfing the emergent properties of time and space and the negentropic cycle. How this charge sort of rises into beingness and then resolves back into the fields, the Dirac sea, this infinite potential, the core. So we're kind of like a nuclear power plant, just feeling that. And there's many layers of light going out, different colors. The gray bandwidth evidently helps us talk to star visitors. different layers of light transact different levels of communication. And so bringing it home to, call it noticing and marveling at the body intelligence. I think if you ask me, what is the number one thought I have during the day, aside from feeling love for specific folks, is noticing that it's a magic show, that every moment unbelievable fields are transacting. It's a light show. It's doing itself in ways we can barely comprehend. So this observing is great yoga ultimately. That's the whole point. Drop into the deep self-observer. All the universes can become coherent, integrate in the stillness. It's like a love pond that just absorbs everything. When there's no movement, when you're totally still, it's like you're completely full in the love. It's like the DNA is designed for love. They found that where they've observed the brains of folks who didn't get a lot of mother nurturing, and the hippocampus is very small. Right? That nurturing is responsible for the size of the hippocampus. And so well-nurtured humans, nice strong hippocampal container, computer programming center of the brain. So there's a direct biological connection to the nurturing like less love, smaller body parts. More love, DNA expands. Growth potential, growth factor. Okay, that's a lot of information. So let's just soak that in. I love this information. The word information kind of is that, right? It's information. So if we have the right understanding, or certainly great understandings in formation, then you'll be outstanding. I want to send out a special love wave to Kabir's moms in the hospital. Having a hard time swallowing. We're sending her throat chakra some love. Just letting that sound come in through the top of the head. The cranium is kind of like a giant antenna. It travels down through the connective tissue. And a vertical water drop down the body. 50,000, 5,000 feet per second. If you want to use that as a reference pitch, that might not be the best one for your body. So maybe later, if this one doesn't feel right, find a pitch that you keep just making that sound. Oh, your body just loves that. So like in a hallway, sometimes stairwell, you hit a certain note and wow, it just rings. It's perfect resonant overtone pitch. Oh. I've heard it said in India that if you play a tambura right up against your brain, you listen to this sort of penetration of the sound, you can melt a tumor. Just vibrates it away, just cuts right through. Restores the proper harmony in the DNA to release the unfinished business, the unresolved emotional block, the ancestral pain that's still stored in the pain body. So thank you for joining me in this little journey of light, activation of, call it higher frequency DNA in these higher chakras through intention, frequency, music. Awareness. So maybe remain in this state for a little bit. I purposefully didn't end with too many stimulating sounds. It's more of this wash of peace and light. These higher chakras radiate through the night. The lunar eclipse seems to have cleansed some of the past. That's how it felt to me, as the moon mind. It's like rebooted. It's like released of the drag bag of all of this stuff. Just instant refresh, update, recalibrating, bringing everyone closer to the present moment. It's a good thing. Namaste, everyone. I'll see you on Monday. Be well.